Hey there, fellow lovers of the strange and creepy. It's your boy, back to shove another handful of nightmares down your brain tubes. You know how it is, right? We all love a good scary movie, a spooky campfire story. But let's be real, the truly messed up stuff, that's the stuff that really gets under your skin. The kind of stories that make you double-check your locks at night. And that's exactly what we're dealing with today. We're diving headfirst into the real-life horror stories that'll make you want to sleep with the lights on. So grab your blankie, your salt circle, whatever you need to feel safe, because things are about to get weird. Buckle up, Buttercup, we're going for a ride. Our first stop on this one-way ticket to Spooktown takes us to the Cecil Hotel. Now, if you know anything about haunted hotels, you've probably heard of this place. It's practically got a neon sign that flashes bad vibes and a revolving door for every kind of tragedy you can imagine. But even in a place like this, Elisa Lam's story stands out. Picture this, 2013, sunny Los Angeles. Elisa, a 21-year-old college student, is visiting from Canada. She checks into the Cecil, and at first, everything seems, well, normal-ish for the Cecil. She's keeping in touch with her family, posting online, typical tourist stuff. But then, poof, she vanishes. Gone. Like a ghost in a, well, you get it. Now, people go missing in big cities all the time, right? But something about Elisa's disappearance just felt off. The cops start digging around and they find something seriously creepy security footage from one of the hotel elevators. And let me tell you, this isn't your average elevator ride. Elisa's acting beyond strange. It's like she's seeing things, hiding from someone, pushing all the buttons like she's trying to escape. I mean, I've definitely pressed the wrong button after too much coffee, but this is different. It's unsettling, man. Almost like she's trapped in some kind of nightmare logic puzzle. And the only way out is to crack the code of the elevator. Naturally, the internet goes bonkers. Theories are flying faster than pigeons in a bread factory. Was she being followed? Did she have some kind of breakdown? Was the Cecil Hotel, with its delightful history of darkness, messing with her head? Weeks go by and the case just gets colder. Her family is desperate, the cops are stumped, and the internet is being, well, the internet. And then, just when you thought it couldn't get weirder, it does. Guests start complaining about the water, low pressure, weird taste. The kind of stuff that makes you go, something's not right here. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear weird taste in the water, my first thought isn't usually dead body. But hey, that's why I'm not a detective, because up on the roof, in one of the massive water tanks, that's exactly what maintenance finds. Elisa's body, just floating there, like something out of a particularly messed up horror movie. How did she get up there? Was she dragged? Did she climb in herself? And the big question, was it an accident, a suicide, or something more sinister? The official report says accidental drowning, but the internet, and let's be real, a part of me too, isn't so sure. The thing about the Elisa Lam case is, it's like one of those optical illusions. The more you look at it, the less sense it makes. You've got all the pieces, but they just don't fit together. And that's what makes it so damn unsettling. We're left with this gaping maw of unanswered questions, a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones we can't explain. So the next time you're booking a hotel room, maybe, just maybe, spend the extra $10 and avoid the one with a history, just to be safe. All right, folks, buckle up, because our next stop is going to be a chilly one. We're heading to the Ural Mountains of Russia, a place so remote and unforgiving it makes Alaska look like a tropical vacation spot. It's 1959 and a group of 9 experienced hikers, all young and full of that invincible spirit only youth can provide, set off on an adventure into the frozen wilderness. They're students, they're friends, they're probably sharing inside jokes and bad trail mix, classic hiking stuff. They're supposed to meet up with another group a few days later, but they never show, and that's when things start to go very, very wrong. Weeks later, after a frantic search, rescuers finally stumbled upon the group's campsite. And let me tell you, what they found wasn't pretty. Picture this. Their tent ripped open from the inside like something burst out of it. Their belongings scattered everywhere as if they left in a huge hurry. But here's the kicker. It's the dead of winter. We're talking sub-zero temperatures, and some of them are barefoot. Barefoot! In the snow! Now, I don't know about you, but even a quick dash to the mailbox in my slippers in January makes my toes scream. Something is seriously off. As if things couldn't get any weirder, the bodies themselves start turning up, and each one is more messed up than the last. Some have horrific internal injuries, like they got hit by a truck, but no external wounds. One is missing their tongue. And get this, some of them have weird burns on their skin. Burns in the middle of a frozen wasteland. It's like someone took a bad acid trip and then decided to write a horror movie based on it. And then there's the radiation. Yeah, you heard me right, radiation. Traces of it found on their clothes. What in the Chernobyl is going on here? The official explanation? A compelling unknown force, which is basically a fancy way of saying we have no freaking clue. Naturally, the theories run wild. Was it an avalanche, a secret military experiment gone wrong, or did those aliens everyone keeps talking about finally decide to pay Earth a visit? Honestly, at this point, I'm not ruling anything out. The Dyatlov Pass incident is like a giant question mark stamped on the face of history. It's a chilling reminder that there are some things out there that we just weren't meant to understand. Even today, decades later, people are still trying to piece together what happened on that mountain. Theories range from the plausible to the downright bizarre, but the truth remains elusive. And that's the thing about the unknown, isn't it? It has a way of burrowing under your skin, of making you question everything you thought you knew. So the next time you're planning a camping trip, maybe, just maybe, stick to a campground with Wi-Fi and a decent cell signal. You know, just in case. All right, gang, buckle up for this one. This story is not for the faint of heart. Our final story takes us to Hinterkaifeck, Germany, a place that holds a chilling mystery. Picture it, 1922, a secluded farmstead miles from anything resembling civilization. The isolation was palpable. The Gruber family called this place home. Andreas, the patriarch, his wife Kazilia, their daughter Victoria, her 2 kids, and the maid. A seemingly ordinary family. Sounds like the start of a bad joke, right? But trust me, there's nothing funny about what happened next. Well, it doesn't get funnier from here. In fact, it gets downright eerie. See, things started getting weird around the homestead, unsettling even. See, Andreas, he was no dummy. He knew something was off. One day he finds footprints in the snow leading up to the house, but get this, none leading away. It's like someone just vanished into thin air. Now, I'm no Sherlock Holmes, but that seems a little fishy, right? It's the kind of thing that makes you question reality. Then there are unexplained noises coming from the attic. Strange, unidentifiable sounds, bumps in the night, you know how it is, but these were more than just the house settling. To top it off, their house keys vanish. Poof, gone, just like that. Now, I'm all for a good mystery, but this is where I'd be packing my bags and heading for the hills. No questions asked. But the Grubers, they stuck it out. They chose to stay despite the mounting oddities. Maybe they thought it was just some local kids messing around, or maybe they were braver than me, who knows? Or perhaps they just didn't want to believe something sinister was afoot. Either way, they didn't report anything to the police. Not a single word. Now, hindsight is 20/20 and all that, but come on, guys. Ignoring all these signs was a risky move. Footprints with no exit, creepy noises, missing keys. That's not your average Tuesday. It's a recipe for disaster. This is like full-blown horror movie material, and they're just casually having dinner with the potential villain in their attic. It's almost surreal. It's enough to make you wonder, right? What was going through their minds? What would you do in that situation? Would you stay or would you go? Would you brush it off as nothing, or would you be sending out a search party for a new place to live? The choice isn't easy. Let me know in the comments, because I think I'd be long gone. No way I'd stick around for that kind of mystery. So, the tension is building, right? You've got this isolated farmhouse, weird occurrences, and a family that's starting to regret not investing in a good security system. They thought they were moving to a peaceful countryside, but little did they know they were stepping into a nightmare. Well, things are about to take a turn for the worse, because one night something truly horrific happens. The kind of horror that you only read about in crime novels or see in movies. The entire Gruber family is brutally murdered. We're talking bludgeoned to death with a mattock. That's a pickaxe for those of you who aren't familiar with farming tools turned murder weapons. And it gets worse, much worse. They were found stacked in the barn. Stacked like some twisted game of Tetris, but with corpses. It's almost too gruesome to imagine. Now, here's where it gets really creepy. The killer didn't just commit the murders and run. Oh no, they stuck around. They made themselves at home in the most macabre way possible. Evidence suggests they lived in the house for days after the murders. They fed the animals, made meals, they were practically squatting in a house full of dead people. It's like something out of a horror story. Talk about a morbid housewarming party. The neighbors eventually found them. Well, not the killer, but the bodies. The scene they walked into was beyond their worst nightmares. The Grubers hadn't been seen in days, so someone finally went to check on them. Big mistake. They walked into that house and found, well, you can imagine. The horror, the blood, the sheer brutality of it all. It doesn't take a detective to know that something terrible had happened. The evidence was everywhere, dead ends and cold trails. The police, they were baffled. They had a crime scene that looked like something out of a slasher film, but no motive, no suspects, and no leads. It was a scene of pure chaos, with no clear direction to follow. It was like the killer just vanished into thin air, leaving behind nothing but questions and fear. Now, I've seen some things in my time, but this case, this one's a real head-scratcher. Every clue seemed to lead to a dead end. Every theory fell apart under scrutiny. Some folks, they figured it was someone close to the family, someone who knew their routines, their secrets, maybe someone with a grudge or someone who stood to inherit the farm. The motives were there, but the evidence was not. Others, they thought it might have been a drifter passing through looking for an easy target, a crime of opportunity perhaps, but nobody really knows for sure. Theories abound, but none hold water. The Hinterkaifeck murders, they became one of Germany's oldest unsolved crimes, a dark chapter in history. Even with all the fancy forensic technology we have today, the case remains ice cold. No DNA, no fingerprints, nothing to point the way, no new leads, no breakthroughs, just a whole lot of unanswered questions. It's a puzzle with too many missing pieces. It's like this case just slipped through the cracks of time, lost in the annals of unsolved mysteries. One minute, the Gruber family is going about their lives, and the next they're gone, vanished without a trace, wiped out in an instant with no explanation and no justice. A family erased from existence. It's enough to make you wonder if some mysteries are just meant to stay unsolved. Perhaps some questions are never meant to be answered. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shane, you're saying this is terrifying. Are you trying to give us all nightmares? And yeah, maybe a little. But that's the thing about these unsolved mysteries. They stick with you. They make you question everything you thought you knew about the world. The Hinterkaifeck murders, they're more than just a gruesome crime. They're a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying things in life are the things we don't understand. The things that go bump in the night, the shadows that seem to move when you're not looking, the whispers on the wind that sound like someone calling your name. Did the Grubers suspect something was wrong? Did they ever regret not leaving when they had the chance? We'll never know. All we have are the facts, and the facts are these. 6 people were brutally murdered, and the killer was never caught. It's a story that's been told and retold for generations, each time becoming more chilling, more unsettling. And the scariest part, it could happen again, anywhere, to anyone. So, there you have it, the Hinterkaifeck murders, a family wiped out in a single night. A killer who vanished without a trace. A mystery that continues to haunt us to this day. What really happened on that isolated farmstead? Was it a robbery gone wrong, a crime of passion, or something far more sinister? We may never know the answers, but one thing's for sure, this case will stay with us long after the lights go out. It's a stark reminder that even in the quietest corners of the world, darkness can lurk, and sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones we can't see coming. So the next time you're home alone and you hear a noise outside, or you think you see something move in the shadows, remember the Hinterkaifeck murders. Remember that sometimes the things we don't understand are the things we should fear the most. And hey, if you happen to have any theories about this case, let me know in the comments. I'm always up for a good conspiracy theory. Well, folks, there you have it. 3 real-life horror stories that are sure to keep you up at night. From the mysterious death of Elisa Lam to the chilling fate of the Dyatlov Pass hikers and the unsolved murders at Hinterkaifeck, the world is a strange and often terrifying place. Sometimes the truth is a lot stranger and scarier than fiction. These stories remind us that there are still mysteries out there that we may never solve. Events that defy explanation, and darkness lurking just around the corner. So what do you think happened in each of these cases? Any theories? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this descent into the macabre, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. Misery loves company, right? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you never miss another spooky tale. Until next time, stay safe and try to sleep tight.